Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I'm so excited to have you, and I can't wait to share with you what I have in store. Tracy Swain here, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone for showing up. Please say hello, type it in. I'd love to hear from you. Now, I'm going to get started right away. I don't want to waste your time, but I just want to let you know that I'm so honored to have you here. Now, I'm going to switch to the computer, but while I do that, please take a moment to get prepared. Close all of your other browsers, switch off your cell phone because you're going to want to give your undivided attention to what's on the screen right here. What I have to share with you today is really going to jumpstart your business, and I don't want you to miss any of it. So download the worksheet that I've created just for you. Definitely take notes, and I'm going to show you the 3 critical elements entrepreneurs and business owners, particularly female entrepreneurs and business owners, need to attract raving hungry, high value clients in 30 days or less without sacrificing lifestyle. So this is really juicy. You're going to want to pay attention. Again, feel free to say hello and comment. I love it. I see it. I may not respond right away because I've got to focus on my teaching, but if you stick around, then I've got a way that I can answer all of your questions for free. So stay tuned for that. Okay? All right, I'm going to jump on my computer. Okay, so I am now in front of the computer, and as I said, I'm going to share with you the 3 critical elements that female entrepreneurs and business owners need to attract raving hungry, high value clients in 30 days or less without sacrificing lifestyle. Now, as I said, this definitely applies to all entrepreneurs, but I do want to put a particular emphasis on female entrepreneurs because sometimes this information we either gloss over or we just don't get. So that's why you see that particular emphasis. So let me ask you a question. What if you could have a steady stream of high value prospects and clients on a consistent basis? How does that sound? Right? Or would you love to generate 80% more income using a systematic process that you can put on autopilot? Well, guess what? You're in the right place. And I really hope that those 2 approaches sound appealing to you because that's what we're here to talk about today. So who this is for? This is for you if you are a female entrepreneur or business owner serving in the coaching, consulting, professional services, software development, or high-ticket e-commerce fields. Now, if you don't particularly fit, nice and precisely into those fields, it does not mean that it's not for you. But we are talking about high value here. So these are fields that tend to have a little bit more high ticket, a little bit more high value, and it's a little bit easier to talk through some of the approaches here. This is also for you if you want a proven system to create a steady stream of high value clients, right? So as we said, we're going to be talking about systems. We're going to be talking about ways to have clients coming in on a regular basis, so you're not having to hunt for them. And this is also for you if you want more income without sacrificing time with your family. Lifestyle is very important for me and for a lot of the people that I work with. So that is why we are trying to work to increase income without spending more time working. And then lastly, this is for you if you want to create a fulfilling income, legacy, and lifestyle for you and your family. There's lots to talk about generational wealth and really wanting to create that. So when you have systems and processes and the ability to have a steady stream of clients, then you have that ability to create income for you and your family and other future generations. So who this is not for? Right, so if you still love bouncing from marketing tactic to tactic with no real strategy, this is definitely not for you. And there's, again, nothing wrong with that. I know some people, this is an adventure, a hunt. You really want to try different things. You like shiny objects. It's just that this is not for you. This is not for you if you still love worrying about where your next client will come from, right? Again, if it's a thrill of, getting a client from the side of a mountain or someplace unique and odd, at an airport, all very wonderful, but this is not for you. And this is also not for you if you still love doing everything on your own without automation or a team, right? So technology is our friend. It's not always friendly to us, but it's our friend. It's an enabler. It's something that allows us to do more, right? Allows us to get more out of ourselves and out of our teams. And that's why this is not for you if you don't want to take advantage of that. So why am I doing this? I am looking for like-minded individuals who want to supercharge their sales with no limit on the number of clients they can help. Right? So if you are looking to bring in lots of people to your program or your product or service, then this is definitely you. I'm looking for like-minded individuals who want to impact their community and their clients' lives, right? That's just one of my core values, is being able to impact my community, and I'm looking for others who want to do the same. If you are someone who wants to live a non-hustle lifestyle while still having time for family, friends, hobbies, or travel, again, there's nothing wrong with hustle and there's nothing wrong with hard work, but we also want to work smarter, and that's what I'm talking about here. And again, I'm looking for people who want to leave a long-lasting legacy, and I don't know if that's you yet, but we'll see as we progress here. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 things. So first, I'm going to show you the 3 elements to creating a clear and compelling message that will have your ideal clients lining up to work with you. The second thing that I want to share today is how to engage and educate your prospects without driving yourself into the ground trying to reach them. Again, the non-hustle lifestyle we talked about. And then third, the secret to finally conquering sales and making the income you deserve, right? Because let's face it, if we just wanted to make a set income, then we would continue with a job, right? So we're really trying to conquer sales and quadruple our sales and make that income that we feel our skill set deserves. So here's why you need to know what I know. Right, so I have 20 plus years of marketing strategy and project management experience, right? I actually went to the #1 business school in the world, the Booth Graduate School of Business at the University of Chicago. And I'm saying #1, we're usually in the top 5, but I'm just going to say #1 for today because it could change. I've worked in corporate and as a business owner over the course of my career. And in that process, I've managed and launched multi-million-dollar programs, products, and projects. That's just what I specialize in, both launching them and seeing them to fruition from idea to launch. That's what I enjoy. I also owned a digital marketing firm, an IT and project management firm, so I'm pretty much all over the space as well as the offline space. So anything technology, whether it's online or offline, is definitely something that I am equipped with. And ultimately, I've just discovered a system that works. Right, so throughout all of these experiences, I've been able to transfer skills from corporate to small business and vice versa, and just be successful in getting clients. So the one thing I want to make sure you are aware of is that there's nothing for sale today. Right, so go ahead and put your wallet away. I'm not going to ask you for any money. Feel comfortable in knowing that. In fact, if you stay until the end, I do have a gift for you that's worth about $497, and it will just dramatically change your results when it comes to getting as many clients as you want, right? So, and it is all for free, and it's just an opportunity and a way for you to get all of your questions answered. So let's talk about the way you might be working, and I just want to ask, are you doing things the hard way? Does this sound like you? You spend your day racking your brain on how to get clients every day, right? Or you might talk to a lot of people and many are interested in your product or service, but very few are buying, right? They're these looky-loos and freebie seekers. Somehow they just keep coming to you. And then when you mention that, hey, there's actually a cost to this, you never see them again. Does that sound familiar? Or you might have a website and some social media profiles, but just not getting the engagement or the clients that you thought you'd get from social media. Everyone's told you to get on social media. Along with that, you've listened to the gurus who told you to provide value and generate content and do all of these things, but you're just so exhausted from doing all of that. And it's just not generating the results that you want. I just want to let you know it doesn't have to be this way, right? It doesn't have to be so hard. I think we get this in our mind that being an entrepreneur has to be hard, but it doesn't have to be this way. So let me tell you about an easier way. The easier way is you have consistent clients coming in who are just dying to use your service, right? They're coming to you. You are attracting them and you're not chasing after them. Your marketing campaigns are so successful, you have to turn them off to keep up with the leads, right? You know, to be able to turn off some campaigns because you're just getting so many leads. You've honed in your processes and systems so well that you can actually step away and allow the system to work on its own, right? You can have some downtime. You can take a day off. You can have a vacation and not feel guilty. Doesn't that sound so much better? You feel confident, relaxed, and in control on a regular basis, right? So this is contradictory to just kind of feeling overwhelmed and antsy and not really sure, if something's going to work. You want to feel confident in what you're doing. You finally have time to travel or enjoy your favorite hobby, right? Again, being able to step away. Now, results are not typical, right? So I don't know you or your product or your service or how well you can implement what I teach. A lot of people really just don't even get around to doing what I teach, so I cannot guarantee you results. Any results I talk about in this presentation, they're just not typical, right? It takes effort, persistence, and patience. With any business, there's always a chance of things not working out, but it does require all of those things in order for it to work. And lastly, I'm in no way promising you that you can make out of what I do or what I'm teaching you here, right? So again, results just are not typical. So I just want to make sure we're aware of that. So let me now reveal number 1, the 3 elements to creating a clear and compelling message that will have your ideal clients lining up to work with you. So first, let me tell you an interesting story about Jane. So meet Jane. Jane is super excited because she has just decided to embark upon her dreams and go all in on her new business. This is a dream she has had forever, and she has decided that now is the time. She is exhilarated by the opportunities that this new endeavor will provide, from impact in the community to the relationships that she'll get to build, and ultimately the resources that she'll gain that will allow her to live the lifestyle of her dreams. She's supercharged about this, and she just knows that this is the right path for her. So like any budding entrepreneur, Jane sets out and does some online research. She buys a couple of courses, and all the gurus say that in order to get exposure and clients, there's a few things that Jane needs to do. They say that she should create a website, get on social media, give value, and create content. So she does this cheerfully and creates a platform to get value at every turn. She creates a website, gets on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, and she creates a podcast and a funnel. But she is told that she could drive traffic from all of these sources organically, so she doesn't do any Facebook ads. She starts giving value and creates a blog post every day, a new podcast each week, posts to all of her social media daily and bi-weekly to YouTube. In the process, she's posting her sales link everywhere. She gets a few free consults from all of her activity, but ultimately, she gets no sales. It's not looking nearly as exciting as it was when she started. She's really just starting to feel exhausted. And with all of the hope that she had, now she's just starting to feel like a hamster in the hamster wheel. After 3 months, she's just completely frustrated and not sure what to do, right? So she doesn't know which way to turn, who to turn to, or whether she should just give this all up. Sound familiar? Do you feel like Jane? That's my question to you. Now, if you do feel like Jane, just know that you are not alone. Jane is not alone, right? So there's many people I talk to that have started out down the exciting entrepreneurship path, and they get sidetracked, either due to lack of knowledge or just improper guidance, right? They've been kind of pushed and pulled by the gurus and led to believe that they must do all things to be successful. Or they just go down a rabbit hole of trying to be everywhere and instead just end up being nowhere, right? So we all know that if you are speaking to everyone, you're really kind of speaking to no one. And the entire goal of making sales is just lost in the shuffle with no real plan or sales strategy, right? So if we remember Jane, she was just putting her sales link everywhere, right? That's not a true strategy. So we'll keep tabs on Jane's story as we progress through our time together. And specifically, we'll see how each of our lessons can relate to Jane's experience and yours if you ever felt like Jane. Now, in our story, Jane spent some time developing her plan and her message, and we don't know how much time she spent, but the response was not what she'd hoped, right? So in general, if the response is lacking or lukewarm, it is likely she or you, again, if you feel the same as Jane, are missing the 3 key elements to a clear and compelling message. So we're going to talk about those, right? So the very first element is specificity. So we want to be very specific, detailed, and ultimately kind of all-knowing about your ideal client. So just imagine your ideal client is right in front of you. Okay. So what do they look like? What type of work do they do? Is this person male or female? Are they younger or older? What's their unique situation? What are they experiencing right now? What are their hopes and dreams, and what are their wants and needs? What drives them? Now, can you answer all of these questions about your ideal client? If not, which a lot of the times is the case, you might want to create a client persona in your mind, right? So you might want to put a face to this person, give them a name, imagine again that they're right in front of you and they're talking to you. What is their thought process? What are their values? How are they making decisions? You want to know and understand all of their demographics, their age, where they work, what they do, how many children they have, what part of the town they live in, or what part of the country or the world. What are some of their goals and dreams? How do they make decisions, their challenges, and then ultimately a solution for them. The second element is emotion. We really want to get into the emotion of your ideal client's greatest pain. So you want to feel the emotion of your ideal client and speak to it, right? So again, we had an image, a persona of our ideal client. So now we want to get to the pain side. So what's their greatest problem? What are they experiencing right now? What's their greatest fear? What keeps them up at night, right? What do they dread each day? What is their everyday experience like? What are they thinking of? What worries them? And what's their greatest pain ultimately? So we have a lady right here who might be your ideal client. If she were your ideal client, what is she thinking about? What is she agonizing over? What is troubling her? We really want to be able to understand that so we could speak directly to her and to her pain in our messaging. The third element is transformation, right? So if this were a movie, you want to be the hero or shero and guide them from their pain. So now we have a clear understanding of who they are, what their pain is. We want to be able to take them from their pain to their happily ever after, right? We want to make this a happy ending, a happy story. So we essentially want to meet them where they are at step A and take them through a transformation to Z. And in the process, you want to be the superhero. You want to be guiding them from their pain to that transformation. And in your messaging, you will describe how you'll do that. You'll describe how you transform or how you are saving them. Right. So I'm going to give a couple of examples because I can imagine you might be sitting here thinking, well, my product isn't that detailed. But I'm going to show you that there's definitely ways that you can create that compelling message using all three of these elements. So here's how we might apply it. So as an example, if you are a dating coach trying to reach male clients, again, you want to use specificity, emotion, and transformation to communicate a clear and compelling message directly to your ideal client. So instead of, let's take statement A, and I'm going to preface this, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what you will see as statement A. Many people use this, and it is quite descriptive, but I'm going to show you a better way. So statement A, again, our dating coach, who might say, I help 40 to 45-year-old men find the right woman, right? There's nothing wrong with that statement. It's just a little broad, and it's going to draw so many people that you may spend more time weeding through, again, like I said, those looky-loos before, versus getting directly to the person you want to speak to. So instead of that, we might communicate something more like statement B. I help 40 to 45-year-old executive men who feel alone and unfulfilled in their current relationships and are tired of playing the field to find the love of their dreams so that they can build the family and life that they desire. So I hope you can see the difference between these two statements, but we're definitely going to break it down, right? So let's break it down. So I help 40 to 45-year-old executive men, right? So there's the specificity, right? And we can get even more specific than this, and definitely in our mind and on that client persona that we are using, we could say that these are executive financial men or advertising associates or lawyers. However more specific we want to get, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I just want to give you an example here when we're talking about getting more specific. And you can see here, we're getting into that emotion. They feel alone and unfulfilled. And that really should kind of tap and pull at your heart. And if you are that 40 to 45-year-old executive, you feel that, right? This is a failure maybe to you, right? They are tired of playing the field. Maybe all of their colleagues have gotten married and they've been the playboy all this time. Now they're just tired of it. Right? They want to find the love of their dreams. They want that family and lifestyle. And so we are seeing, they're moving from playing the field to the family and life that they desire. So that's the transformation. And as the dating coach, you would be taking them along that journey and getting them from their point A, tired of playing the field, to their Z. So let's have another example, right? So if you are a chiropractor trying to reach athletes, you definitely want to use specificity, emotion, and transformation to communicate that clear and compelling message, right? So again, instead of statement A, which there's nothing wrong with statement A, but instead of the statement where you might say, I help former athletes reduce chronic pain. Again, there's some specifics here. They're not helping everyone who's got chronic pain. They're specifically going after athletes. But again, they're going to pull in so many people that really just are not the right ideal client. So instead of that, we want to communicate something more like statement B. I help 40 to 45-year-old former high-achieving female athletes who have spent years stretching the limits of their body and now feel broken and demoralized because it hurts to pick up their child, to live a pain-free and active lifestyle while enjoying their family and the simple pleasures of life. Okay, so we're going to break this down again. Again, we have our specificity with I help 40 to 45-year-old former high-achieving female athletes. So if you can get into the mindset of a high-achieving female athlete, these are people who have gone beyond what perhaps many ever thought they would go, right? They're superstars. They're used to being the best at everything they do, right? So they've spent years stretching the limits and now they just feel broken. That thing, their body, their muscles, their joints, everything about it is something that they've been able to rely on. And now they feel like they can't even do the simplest things, right? That body took them to extreme heights. And now they're just feeling those lows. They're feeling demoralized because they can't pick up their child. And again, we're taking them from that transformation, not being able to pick up their child, to living pain-free, right? They most definitely want to do that. That's the good news that you are sharing with them, where they can enjoy those simple pleasures of life and be able to have the lifestyle that they want. So you want to be able to communicate this to them. You want to be able to have them feel it. And then they will say, you know exactly how I feel. You know what I want. You know what I need, and you are the person for me. So can you see the difference here? Can you see the difference with those statements? How the second statements are just so much more compelling. So someone who's listening and who's experiencing that, they are much more likely to identify with you as their hero or shero. And I will say that most entrepreneurs, and particularly female entrepreneurs, stop with statement A, right? And they try to find their ideal client with not nearly enough information. They're drawing in everybody. It's probably exciting in the beginning, but they're just not getting to the right people. So now that you know exactly who you're looking for, it's that much easier to go out there and find them. And the best part is that they will find you. Right? Once you're putting that message out there and they are hearing it, they're feeling that emotion, they are experiencing in their mind, they're dreaming of that transformation that you are able to provide, and they will come directly to you. So I hope that that is exciting for you. So now we're going to look at number 2, how to engage and educate your prospects without driving yourself into the ground trying to reach them, right? No one wants to drive themselves into the ground. Trust me, I've been there. I've done it. It's no fun. So if we remember Jane was a little bit of everywhere, right? She had her messaging all over the place. Anywhere you can think of, she had it, right? And at the end of the day, she really just ended up feeling exhausted, at her limits, just running in circles in that hamster wheel. And I don't know about you, but I've certainly felt that way, and it's just not a good feeling. And at the end of the day, it's just not scalable, right? What she was doing it all herself. She was doing everything everywhere, and it's not a way to build a business. So we want to make sure that we have a scalable method that we use to engage and educate. So we want to use one platform, right? They're all great, but we want to choose just one. We want to have one message and a controlled setting where we're able to get that message out there. When we have that control setting, when we have one message, when we're able to hone it down, it really gives us the opportunity to teach. We're able to string together multiple concepts all into one core message that we want our audience to walk away with, right? So if you remember in our previous example where Jane is everywhere, well, trust me, her competitors and everyone else who has similar information is out there as well. So your ideal client is just getting tidbits from everywhere. So when you have everything in one setting, in one message, and you're able to really teach, it's an experience sort of like what you're experiencing right now, right? You're able to move from delivering those tidbits everywhere to providing meaningful, valuable content and information in one dedicated location, right? So there's 3 easily scalable methods to engage and educate. And I didn't create these. I won't take credit for that, but I will tell you or show you an easier way to use each of these methods. So the one thing you want to remember is that less is more with each of these methods, right? So with these methods, you can go crazy like Jane, but less is more and you will get a lot more out of it. So, right, so the first item is a Facebook group. And again, I didn't create these, but Facebook is really investing in Facebook groups. And so therefore you want to make sure you are on that train, right? The train has already left. Make sure you get on it. You might think it's a hassle to have a Facebook group, but I want to tell you, you don't have to post 5 times a day. You want to stick with 2 to 3 posts a week, 2 to 3 meaningful, valuable posts per week, right? And that will generate the engagement that you want. The second thing is a challenge. And you might say, okay, challenges really look like a lot of work. And they can be a lot of work if you're doing a 20-day, 30-day, 90-day challenge. I've seen 180-day challenges. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be in a 6-month challenge personally. So we want to stick to some mini challenges. 3 days is really all you need to have your ideal clients undivided attention, be able to string together some concepts and have them really thankful to you for it. And lastly, you might have a masterclass such as this that we're experiencing, and that would be just one training, right? Just have one training and drive your ideal clients to it. All of these are really just creating that know, like, and trust factor. Right. So as they, meet you, they might know you from nowhere, but this gives them the opportunity to really determine if they like you and then ultimately if they trust you to lead them through that transformation. So you can utilize all 3 methods, but I'd say ideally start with one. And then for maximum effect, you might want to use 2 of them and propel them through the third. And I'm suggesting the masterclass just because it's much more meaty. It has lots of content. You can probably use some of the content in other places, but that's just where you probably have the most amount of eyeballs for the longest period of time. So how are these methods scalable, right? Like I said, I didn't invent these. You've probably all heard of these. These are just ways to make it easier, and they're scalable because you can create your content and templates once, schedule them, and then repeat on autopilot. That's the beauty of it. So here's a couple of examples. If you are a local digital marketer or a financial coach, right, trying to keep up and provide value on every platform, you might want to move from Jane, right, spreading herself entirely too thin, and move to more like a classroom setting where you are again able to educate your prospects in a controlled setting. And you can do this within your Facebook group, your masterclass, or your mini challenge, right? You are the expert. You have their undivided attention, and you are sharing some pretty thoughtful, detailed topics where they're really given the opportunity to learn. And just like when you were in school, your teacher has the floor
right? So they have all of the attention. And again, remember, less is more, right? You don't need to do 5 live videos a week or a day for that matter. So you want to create lessons on your prospects' biggest challenges and then drive the lessons home using that controlled setting in one or all 3 of these methods. And then this just in general reduces your level of anxiety and work, right, while delivering a more enjoyable and educational experience. Everyone will love you. And again, less is more. So that is our number 2. Now we're going to move on to number 3, which is the secret to finally conquering sales and making the income you deserve. So this is probably the most important lesson and probably the lesson that creates the most trepidation. So again, we'll look back at Jane. Jane might hate us at this point, but she again was everywhere and she was posting her sales link, right? That was her strategy to getting sales. Right? But at the end of the day, she received some consults. She just wasn't getting the traction that she wanted. And ultimately, she wasn't getting the sales that she wanted. Because I would say at the end of the day, she really didn't have a strategy. She had a hope strategy. And that's not a strategy. She just kind of hoped someone would click on her sales link and buy her product. So my question to you is, do you have a defined sales system? Right? So most entrepreneurs, and again, female entrepreneurs, are generally just unprepared for sales, right? You have this experience, you're like, oh, I've got a strategy session, or oh, I've got a call, breakthrough call, whatever you want to call it. And you're just like, now what? What do I do? You're just terrified of sales and you're just doing it all wrong because of that. And again, specifically for females. So one of the problems that I see all the time is that you expect it to work like the big boys and put several products on a website with links to buy, right? So you have some products and you think that you are Amazon or Walmart, and you're just going to put all these products on a website and people are going to buy. And you're like, I'm not getting any sales. Well, newsflash, first of all, you're not Amazon or Walmart. No one knows about you. You don't have enough traffic for people to just come to your site and buy stuff. That's the first thing. And secondly, people need to be guided. They need to be guided along the way. So this is just a common mistake, especially in the e-commerce world. And one thing that you'll notice is that a lot of times people don't really go to websites anymore just to browse. They're usually going for something specific. Or you might be like Jane, where you're just putting a sales page on a link and expect someone to purchase your high ticket product without talking to anyone. Now, again, it's not that that will never happen, but you have to have some scale. Like you have to be well known by your ideal client. So if you are one of the big names, the gurus, then absolutely you can put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 product on a sales page. And that is because all of these individuals already know you, like you, and trust you, right? They've heard of you. They know your stuff is good, and they're just going to go and buy. But without that, without having that goodwill already built, if you're just starting out, or if you're middle of the way, you're not a huge guru, you need to be able to take people through a journey, help them to know, like, and trust you, and then they'll feel more comfortable purchasing your products or services. We might kind of stray away from them, right? You just want a direct message, you just want to hide behind the screen and never really talk to anyone or see anyone and then expect a sale to come about. Again, not to say that that can't happen, but it's probably a lower percentage, right? You again need to have that know, like, trust factor already out there before you have some of these sales for, again, high ticket, high value products or services without any interaction. Or you get on the phone and you decide to wing it. You really just don't have a plan at all. And you know, there's all sorts of sayings about when you don't have a plan, right? So we just want to make sure that you actually have a plan and a system in place when you have those sales calls. Or again, you pitch everyone, whether they are a good fit or not. And if you don't have that compelling message, like we said in step 1 in that very first lesson, then you're getting so many people that probably just are not a good fit. And at the end of the day, it just becomes demoralizing, right? You get tired of it. You get tired of people saying no, of getting that feeling, and then you get down and it just creates that snowball effect of not getting any sales because you're not even expecting to get the sales when you get on the call. So I want to tell you about a better way, and I'm recommending a two-step sales system, right? Now, in this two-step sales system, it's still one call, and I recommend this for those high-value products or services. So it's one call, but really separated into two steps, right? So you have your strategy session and then your decision to offer. What's key here is that second piece, that decision to offer. I think many people teach that you kind of get on the phone with your offer in mind. And what I am suggesting is that you don't do that. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. So the benefits of the strategy session. So in your mind, you are just having this call and you're thinking of it as a strategy session only. Your goal is to give value, right? So when you go into it with that mindset, it completely de-stresses your call, right? It doesn't become a sales call anymore. It really is a true strategy session where you are doing what you set out in business to do, to help the person on the other end of the phone, your ideal client, your prospect, right? So you are not trying to push anything on them. You don't have anything in your back pocket that you're ready to give. You're just really sitting down and helping them to go through a problem, right? So you want to solve their biggest challenge. You want to be that person who's there to talk through that challenge with them. And this just provides the opportunity to teach one-on-one. Now they have that much more personal feel about you. You're really building into that know, like, and trust factor. And then lastly, you can further assess your prospect and determine if they are truly ready for what you have to offer, right? Are they ready for it? And are they really the ideal client? So as we go through the process, we are qualifying and qualifying and qualifying. And when you get to that call, that's the ultimate qualifier to determine if this is really someone you should bring into your fold, into your family, into your product or service or program that you're selling. The benefits of a decision to offer is that you only provide the offer if the prospect is ready for change. Right? So again, you are thinking of it as a strategy session and not everyone will get your offer. I will say very much the difference between a sale and a not sale is that that person, if we think about that messaging, they are in that pain. They feel that pain. The pain is becoming too much to bear. So they're ready for a change. And that's when you get the sale. So it's a lot of the times, we're not in the scenario of, we're just trying to churn through and we're going to force people into a sale. No, when they're ready, that's when you get the sale. And so you want to spend your time qualifying and making sure that they are ready. When you do this, you can fill your program, your product or service with the right people, right? They're starving, they're hungry, they're raving. They know that you are going to take them from their point A, from that pain to their happily ever after. And then once you know and understand your conversion rate, and when I say conversion rate, I mean how many calls does it take you to get a sale? Do you need to speak to 4 people and then 1 out of 4 will be a sale? The more you do this, then you can know and understand those numbers, and then you can consistently forecast your sales. So if you're wondering how you can use this, here's how. Here's a couple of examples. Now let's say you're a software developer, right? And in software development, it is all about transformation. We are never focusing on the software, right? So we want to make sure we understand our client's biggest problem, their biggest challenge. And we want to be able to determine if our product, our software, will provide the transformation that they need. So we use this time. We talk through their biggest challenge. And there's cases, again, you are not talking with them with the idea in mind that you're going to sell them your software. You're trying to help them. And you're helping them might be sending them to someone else, sending them to a competitor even. But you want to have that conversation. And then once you are able to determine, after you talk to them, you've asked them some questions, you determine that they are a right fit for you, your software program and what you're offering, then you can give them the details of the offer. Now, an e-commerce entrepreneur, this is a little bit different scenario, right? So we're looking at people who have high cart values, right? Because we want to make sure that, if we're selling multiple products, that we're really focusing in on those high cart values. And this is where we might want to add that customer service touch, whether they have abandoned their cart or if they are just generally on a regular basis have high cart values. You might give them a call. We all love that personal touch. We make it harder these days to reach us, but when we do get that personal touch, when we have someone who's calling us, just to find out how they can help, just to talk through what that next challenge is, we appreciate it, right? And whether we're ready to buy or not, we always will think of them and we will appreciate that they reached out to us. So in this scenario, you may want to reach out to your abandoned carts or people with high cart values, your greatest customers. Understand what their biggest challenge is right now and what's on the horizon for them, and talk them through it. And don't always call them with the intent to sell. But if what you have to offer, if you find out that you're able to meet their challenge, you're able to take them through a transformation with the products you sell, then you offer it once you know that they're ready to make a change. So now we want to put this all together. I've been able to reference a couple of the first two lessons as I talk through the last lesson, but we can put it all together, right? So the way that we can really propel this, because when we put it together, it's a system, what I've walked you through in these first three lessons. And we can use paid advertising to really kickstart this process and learn from our audience quickly. So in this case, because I have focused a lot on Facebook, but you could also use paid advertising, whether it's with YouTube or LinkedIn, whichever platform you desire. I like Facebook because it has so much information and data. And once you use paid advertising, you're able to push more people through the system and you can learn a lot more, right? So we are going to use the paid advertising to get that compelling message in front of them, push them through to one of our scalable methods, and then ultimately have a phone call with them and determine if they are a right fit for our product or service. Once you know your conversion rate, again, we can confidently forecast our sales. And that's the system that we talked about. And you can consistently see your clients coming through once you know your conversion rate. So being conservative, let's say we want to work 20 hours a week. We want to have 21-hour sessions a week. And again, being conservative because we're just starting out, maybe we have a 10% conversion rate. So 1 in 10, as we're refining our system, refining our message, refining our sales strategy, we're getting 1 out of 10. So that's 2 sales a week, right? Let's say our price is $1,000. That's $2,000 a week that we're able to make with the system. Let's say we increase our ad spend. So with an increased ad spend, instead of 20 sessions a week, we're looking at 80 sessions a week. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to work 80-hour weeks, so I might want to bring on a sales team to help with some of these calls because at this point we're bringing in so many prospects. And again, we're still pretty early. We have a 10% conversion rate. So instead of 2 new clients a week, we're bringing in 8. And at our price of $1,000, we're looking at $8,000 a week. Right? So that's $32,000 a month we're able to bring in because we've brought on other sales team members. We're still working 20 hours a week in sales because everything else we've automated. Just remember that the steps, the messaging and the engaging and educating, we've put that on autopilot. So what if we decide we want to increase our price instead, right? We still want to stick with the 20 hours. We don't want to bring on a team. We have our 10% conversion rate. We're bringing on 2 clients, but we decide we want to increase our price. We're able to pull together a program, right? Pull together multiple different pieces and really drive that transformation to $3,000. And our ideal client is in so much pain that they'll happily pay for it to get that pain out of their life. Now we're looking at $6,000 a week. Now, one other thing, what if we're able to get a higher conversion rate, right? We're able to really refine our system. We get even better at our sales. We have these 20 sessions a week, but now instead of 10%, we're at 25%. Now we're bringing in 5 clients. Let's say we keep that increased price at $3,000. Now we're looking at $15,000 a week. So I hope you can see the power here. Right? You can see the power of those numbers, all driven by that paid advertising. We are not running ourselves into the ground. The most time we're spending is in our sales calls and in the delivery of what we promised that we would deliver. So once we refine our message, our engagement approach, and our sales processes, we have a predictable and consistent system that brings in clients and sales like clockwork, right? We can step away. We can bring on a sales team. We can bring on a delivery team. We can build our team the way we want as long as we have that system in place. So I promise you that I teach you the 3 elements to creating a clear and compelling message that will have your ideal clients lining up to work with you. how to engage and educate your prospects without driving yourself into the ground trying to reach them, and then the secret to finally conquering sales, right? With that two-step process that completely de-stresses the process and just allows you to make the income you deserve. So how'd I do? Now, here's the real opportunity that I see for you. I see a thriving business filled with a steady stream of clients you love, less stress and overwhelm, right? And just the ability to work as many or as few hours as you like, right? So really being able to have that lifestyle that you have been working for without working so hard. So the good news is it's not about if you can do this or if you have the technical skills or the sales skills or the time. Right? It's about whether you can follow a simple step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Now, this is what you need to win, right? So you need the right plan, you need the right processes and systems, and you need the right help. So there's two choices, right? You can click away and forget everything that I've just shared with you, right? But that also means that you're back to your old results, right? If you're like Jane, that'll just continue to be you. But if you really want things to be different and to change your life in this area, then here is how I can help. So remember that $497 gift I promised you at the start of this class? Congratulations, because you've made it to the end. And now I'm going to share with you about the gift. Would you like me to give you a plan to get as many raving hungry, high value clients as you want? I'm happy to help develop a plan to attract consistent high value clients, increase your income, and live the lifestyle that you desire, right? This way you'll be able to consistently get clients without having to sacrifice your lifestyle. And I offer this service because I'm a coach specializing in helping female entrepreneurs to get clients and consistent income without stress or tech overwhelm. And there's a pretty good chance that you have a challenge in consistently attracting the right clients and in the sales system that you use. Now, if you find that my way of solving this is valuable, you might want to become a client. And if this is the case, then my rates start at $1,000 a month. But let me make something very clear. Please understand that I'm not offering you a sales pitch in disguise, right? We kind of talked about that a little bit. That's just not my way. It's not my style. I really am here to help. So I promise not to pressure you or pester you in any way at all. And in fact, time is the most precious commodity at all. So if you feel that I wasted your time in any way, then I'll immediately send you $500 to compensate you. And we part as friends. So does this sound fair? Now, I've set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to 15 people about how you can apply these ideas to your life starting today. Whatever your biggest problem is, I know how to solve it. So on a 45-minute call, I will help you in 3 ways. First, I'll talk to you about your biggest challenge right now. Then I'll help you to solve it. And then last, I will set out a step-by-step plan, right, as to how you can reach your end goal without added stress or tech overwhelm, right? So we will create a plan together, and then you can walk away with something of value that you can use. So who is this for? Now, this is for you. You must be taking action in your business, right? You must be active. You must be flexible and open to change the way you're doing things. The best way I can help you is if you're open and willing to change. You must be eager to learn new things, and you must be committed to doing what it takes to experience extraordinary results. Now, if you can say yes to all of this, then I'm happy to help you for free during a 45-minute strategy call. And if this sounds like you, then here's what to do next, right? Schedule a call with me by simply clicking the link you now see. And then afterwards, you'll see a form with a few questions about you and what you're looking to accomplish, right? So once I have that information, I can put a few things together that I know will help you attract more clients, increase your income, and put the systems in place that will allow you to maintain or improve your lifestyle. So click the button you see now. We have a 48-hour window available only for 15 people. And on that 45-minute call, I will help you in 3 ways. I will talk to you about your biggest challenge right now. I'll help you solve it. And we will create a step-by-step plan so you can walk away with how you can reach your goal without stress or tech overwhelm. So click that button you see now. Again, we have a 48-hour window available only for 15 people. You can also visit conceptoaction.com/session. Thank you again. I hope this was valuable for you, and I'll look forward to seeing you in a call.